Well, it looks like it's holding moisture fairly well. Look at this. I haven't put water in this thing and gosh, I don't know.
We haven't had any rain. We might be getting a little.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get some tonight. But it's incredible. This holds moisture real well.
Okay, so we did have a video, and maybe I'll link it in the description below, when you fill this with mulch. Is this the first time that you've tried to put anything in here?
I put some, had some jalapenos that were left over, some peppers.
Green onions.
Yeah, green onions. And I planted the peppers right here, actually, and watered them all, and I thought it looked pretty good. And put my green onions in here, the ones I cut off from the store that we buy. Just take the ends with the roots on it and just stick them in soil and they'll start growing. So I've had planted probably a dozen of them or so. Watered it down good, went in, came out, I don't know if it was the next day or the day after, and everything was torn up and my green onions were gone, all except for one. And I couldn't figure out what in the world that would be. Well, I think it had to be because a squirrel, we have some that hang around here and they're always coming around doing things. So I bet you the squirrel got up in here and ate them all.
Well,
Tore
in that bag is also some green onions.
Right, and you know, we buy the tomatoes at the store, the ones that have the vine still attached to it, and we've had these quite some time.
They didn't get mushy.
They didn't rot. They're still hung to the vine pretty good. And I'm telling you, we've had these things for probably a month.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? And it grows Melanie out because
it is. It's freaky.
I told her, I said, hey, check it out.
Ooh, my head's gonna itch while you do this.
So anyway, you can feel them. They're knobby.
No, I don't.
So you can already see part of the plant coming out.
Ooh.
They ruptured already.
Why don't you just plant it like that?
Because I want to cut them in quarters.
Ooh, I got chill bumps on me. That is so gross.
I'm going to cut them in quarters.
Yuck and disgusting. I mean, I've seen them before like that, but not like this.
Then I want to bury it right here like this. And hopefully the squirrel or whatever it was that got up in here last time will not come back. So I'm going to just plant these little quarters in here, already sprouting. So I thought, heck yeah. When I saw how knobby those things were, she was just like, I mean, you can see they're coming through. They're all knobby looking. You know, you see how it shines on there? They're knobby looking. Well, all those are plants coming out. So it's actually growing on the vine. So I thought, well, that's another way of growing tomato plants. So why not? Like I said, we just never ate these quick enough because I had bought so many at one time. And then when I noticed they started, when you cut them open, they kind of had the growth on the inside. It kind of is nasty. And Melanie was saying, I don't want nothing to do with that. So. Anyway, we're going to try this out. And I know y'all saying, well, these things are going to come out, there's going to be hundreds of them. Well, that's okay. Let there be hundreds of them because I'll just cull them out. Because there probably will be hundreds of them.
If the squirrels or whatever don't eat.
If the squirrels don't come in. And or possum or whatever the heck it was. I think it was squirrel. That's what my story, and I'm sticking to it. Because they'll go get oranges off of that orange tree over there and sit over there and eat those.
Yeah. And we'll tell the folks maybe that are joining for the first time, that is a sour orange tree, so they are not.
Actually, it was when I first bought that thing, probably 20-something years ago. It was it was supposed to have been a navel orange tree, a grafted navel orange. And we had a real hard freeze, I think like in the 80s, and it just killed everything because we were frozen for like 10 straight days. You remember that? When it was just our pipes, we were afraid they were all going to burst.
I remember that happening when Matt was like 6 months old, but we didn't have that orange tree then.
No, that was right after that. When we moved in here, I had planted this here, then I had a grapefruit tree over here too that died. But that one froze, and I never thought much about it because it froze. And so just broke the rest of the stem off at the ground level and just left it. And then lo and behold, it started coming back out at the root, and I knew it was going to be sour at that point. All right, so this is all tomato. I'm just surprised as heck how moist that is.
How surprised is surprised as heck?
Well, just very surprised. I mean, I thought for sure this would be dried because I hadn't watered it. I only soaked it once really, really well. Alright, so I think I might have some of those. Not many, but let's see. Yeah, you threw in a few of them. So these are the little green onion.
Let me see one.
The little green onion heads that you chop off for you, and they have the little roots on them.
We always throw them away, right? Most people
normally
do.
Just throw them away. But if you just plant them like this, just leave the very tops open.
And actually, if you want them in your home, you could just plant them in a cup.
Yeah. Really? A little vase.
Yeah.
Flower pot, whatever you want to do. But yeah, they'll grow, and then you can just snip them off as you want them, the green parts, or pull them up and eat the root. But if these live, that one I don't think's a piece. One more.
Now, one might ask, since you're planting at the end of December these tomatoes,
Yeah.
if they
Why?
do start growing, we know why, because it's better than throwing them away.
Yeah.
But if they start growing, how are you going to keep them warm if we get a really cold front come through here? You going to blanket this little house up or
Yeah,
what?
I have some plastic I want to get, and haven't gotten it yet, but I'm fixing to. And it's a heavy gauge plastic that I'm going to roll over the whole thing, and then I'm going to make a little doorway type thing here so I can close it. And
One might also ask, sir, since you have 3 large dogs, do they seem to mess with your raised garden bed?
so far they haven't, but not to say they won't.
Maybe because there was nothing in it. So
It's a good possibility, but hopefully they won't.
did those tomatoes have any smell left to them?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, they weren't rotted or anything. They just
That is actually really creepy. how those roots were inside there. It's just really creepy.
Yeah, like
Makes
I
my
said,
head itch.
these will, if they're not eaten by some type of animal,
Yeah, they'll grow.
they'll be up sprouting pretty good here.
And we may get a little chance of rain here today, so that
Ooh,
would be
that'd
good.
Perfect. Get some good nutrients in there. Just
All right, so what do you want to tell the folks to wrap it up about your raised garden bed and what you just did?
just don't waste anything. And if you want to keep checking this out, if it comes out well, I'll show you a video. If it don't, you ain't gonna see it. So anyway, if this does grow, hey, you can spend like $1.50 or whatever it is for those tomatoes on a little cluster, and just let them sit, you know, in a kind of a cool place out of the light, but not dark, and then just leave them there, and they'll start growing on the inside. And you can make your cuttings from that.
All right. So if they like your channel, what should they do?
Well, watch for sure, subscribe, thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever you prefer. Comment if you like. Melanie and I like to read your comments, and some of them I give them an earful, but some of them I let go, laugh about it.
Usually that's on our son's channels, though,
Yeah.
not ours.
So anyway, yeah, ring that bell and all that good stuff. So we'll see you.